All right, let's fire up those brains. Because today, we're going deep on a job you might not even know exists.
Oh, this is going to be...
Clay products, dry kiln operators.
Sounds kind of niche, right?
It is, but that's why we're here. We're going to dig into some career guides and real interview prep from RoleCatcher.
Awesome. Love that combo.
And trust me, this is way more interesting than it sounds.
I'm intrigued already.
We're talking high-tech equipment, managing this super precise drying process.
Like a science experiment.
Kind of. It's like being the unsung hero behind all those clay products we see every day.
I never really thought about how those things get made.
Exactly. So let's get down to it.
Okay, let's do it.
What does a clay products dry kiln operator actually do all day?
All right, so picture this. Massive drying tunnels filled with all kinds of clay creations.
Like a pottery paradise.
Exactly. But before they can go into the kiln for firing, they need to be dried perfectly.
Oh, I see. So that's where our kiln operator comes in.
Yep, they're like the guardians of those tunnels, controlling the humidity, temperature, airflow.
To make sure everything dries evenly, I bet.
Exactly. Different clays react differently to drying, so it's a super delicate process.
So it's not just about cranking up the heat and hoping for the best.
No way. Too much heat and a delicate porcelain vase could crack.
Oh, no.
Too little, and a thick earthenware pot might never fully dry.
Makes sense. So there's a real art to it.
It's a dance between art and science, for sure.
So where are they doing all this? Paint me a picture of the typical work environment.
Okay, imagine a bustling factory or production facility.
Lots of activity.
Yeah, you've got loud machinery humming, maybe some dust from the clay.
Sounds kind of intense.
It can be, and sometimes it's hot and humid depending on where those drying tunnels are located.
So safety gear is a must, I imagine.
Absolutely. Steel-toed boots, safety goggles, the whole 9 yards.
Gotta stay protected.
Safety first.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a minute.
All right, what are we thinking?
Why would someone choose this career? What are the perks?
Well, the RoleCatcher Career Guide lays out some pretty great pros.
Let's hear them.
First off, job security.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, the demand for clay products is pretty much constant.
From construction materials to, like you said, those fancy vases.
Exactly. So it's a pretty stable career path.
That's reassuring in today's job market.
For sure. And the earning potential is actually quite good.
Ooh, that's always nice to hear.
There's also a clear path for advancement, so you can really grow in this field.
Love that. Always room to climb.
And if you're someone who likes to see tangible results...
You can actually hold what you create.
Exactly. This job is super satisfying in that way.
It's like being a maker, an artist.
Kinda. Plus, it's perfect for people who, let's be honest, can't stand the thought of a desk job.
Definitely not for everyone, but some people thrive on that hands-on work.
For sure. It's all about finding the right fit.
But we got to talk about the downsides too, right?
Definitely. Got to be real about those.
What are you looking at?
Well, it can be physically demanding. You're on your feet a lot.
So, got to stay in shape.
Yeah, and there's that exposure to dust and fumes we talked about.
Right, so following safety protocols is key.
Absolutely. And shift work and long hours are a reality.
Something to consider for sure. Work-life balance is important.
It is. So it's all about weighing those pros and cons.
See if it aligns with your lifestyle and goals.
Exactly. And if it does, well, then comes the interview.
The moment of truth.
Luckily, RoleCatcher gave us some real interview questions they asked candidates for these roles.
Okay, now we're talking. Let's dive into some Q&A.
You ready for this?
Hit me with those questions. I'm all ears.
All right. First question, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Bring it on.
It's a pretty straightforward one. Tell me about your experience working with clay products, dry kilns.
Seems simple enough, but I bet there's more to it.
There is. They want to know if you really get the core of the job.
So have you actually worked with these things before?
Right. Do you understand the drying process, the terminology, the whole shebang?
Okay, so what if you haven't actually worked with kilns before?
Well, honesty is key. Right.
Definitely. No point in pretending.
Be upfront about your experience level, but then you got to pivot.
Show them what you do know.
Exactly. Highlight those transferable skills.
Like what? Give me an example.
Have you worked with other materials that need careful drying?
Ooh, like what?
Maybe in construction or even something like, I don't know, baking?
Baking? Really?
Yeah, think about it. Bread needs the right temperature, the right time to bake properly.
Okay, I see the connection. It's all about those core principles.
Exactly. Find those parallels and draw those connections for the interviewer.
Show them you can adapt and learn quickly.
That's what they want to see.
Okay, so they ask you about your experience. What kind of follow-up questions might come next?
They might dig deeper into specific techniques you've used, ask about the types of ovens or machinery you're familiar with.
So be ready to get specific.
They might even ask you to describe a time you faced a challenge and how you overcame it.
A classic interview question.
But it's a good one. Shows how you think on your feet.
All right, I'm taking notes. What's the next question they might throw at you?
Okay, this one gets a bit more technical. How do you ensure the temperature and humidity levels are appropriate for the clay products during the drying process?
Ooh, that sounds like they're really testing your knowledge.
They are. They want to know you understand the science behind it.
How those variables impact the final product.
Exactly. Vague answers won't cut it here.
So, what's the best way to answer this one?
Be specific. Detail the methods you'd use to monitor those levels.
Like manual checks, digital sensors, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Mention the adjustments you'd make based on the clay type and the drying time.
Show them, your stuff.
Right. Showcase that technical knowledge and your ability to maintain consistency.
No winging it on this one.
Yeah.
And what about follow-ups? What else might they ask?
They might quiz you on specific temperature and humidity ranges for different clay types.
Ooh, gotta do your homework.
Or ask about the consequences of getting those levels wrong.
Uh-oh, better know what you're doing.
And they could also ask how you would troubleshoot inconsistencies.
So show them you can problem solve under pressure.
Exactly. Thinking on your feet is a valuable skill.
Okay, hit me with question number 3.
This one is all about problem solving. How do you troubleshoot issues with the kiln if the temperature or humidity levels are not within the desired range?
Ooh, this is where those analytical skills come in.
For sure. They want to see how you approach identifying and fixing problems.
When things go wrong. Because let's be real, that happens.
It does. So walk them through your process step by step.
Like a mental checklist.
Exactly. First, visual inspection. Then, check the manuals or diagnostic tools.
So show them you have a system.
And explain how you'd isolate the root cause and the steps to correct it.
And a real-life example would be great here, right?
Definitely. If you can, share a time you successfully troubleshooted a similar issue.
Even if it wasn't with a kiln specifically.
Even better if it's from a different context. Shows you can apply those skills broadly.
Makes sense. Okay, what kind of follow-up questions should someone be ready for here?
They might ask about specific kiln malfunctions you've encountered.
So know your stuff.
Or safety precautions you'd take during troubleshooting.
Always got to be thinking about safety.
And how you document and report those incidents.
Showing you're thorough and responsible.
Exactly. Okay, ready for question number 4?
Bring it on.
Here it is. How do you ensure the safety of yourself and others while operating the kiln?
Safety, super important, especially in this environment.
Absolutely. They want to know you take it seriously.
That you're not going to be a liability.
Right. So be ready to talk about the safety protocols you'd follow.
Personal protective equipment, that kind of thing.
Yep. Checking for gas leaks, proper ventilation, all those crucial steps.
Show you're proactive. Safety is always top of mind.
Exactly. What kind of follow-up questions do you think they might ask here?
Maybe about specific safety training you've received.
Good one. Or how you'd handle emergency situations.
Thinking on your feet again.
And maybe even how you'd encourage a safety-first culture among colleagues.
Ooh, that's a great point. It's not just about your safety.
It's about everyone's well-being.
All right, on to question number 5, please.
Here we go. How do you maintain the kiln to ensure it operates efficiently and effectively?
Maintenance. Keeping things running smoothly.
It's a big part of the job. They want to know you're on top of it.
Preventative maintenance is key, I bet.
You got it. So be specific about your routine inspection and cleaning procedures.
Show them you have a system.
How you'd identify wear and tear, steps to lubricate parts, replace faulty components.
All those little things that make a big difference.
Exactly. What kind of follow-up questions could come up here?
Maybe they'd ask about specific maintenance logs you've used.
Good one. Or tools and equipment you're proficient with.
Show off those skills.
And even your experience working with vendors for repairs.
So, knowing who to call when you need help.
It's all part of the job.
Great. Okay, I'm ready for question number 6. What have we got?
This one focuses on quality. How do you ensure that the finished products meet the desired quality standards?
Making sure those clay creations are top-notch.
Exactly. This goes to the heart of the operator's impact.
So what's the best approach to answer this one?
Outline your quality control process, step by step.
Show them you have a system.
Would you visually inspect each piece? Use measuring tools?
Make sure everything is perfect.
And how would you document and address any imperfections? Consistency is key here.
Okay, what kind of follow-up questions might they ask to dig deeper?
They might ask about specific quality control metrics you'd track.
Getting into the details?
How you'd handle products that don't meet standards.
Uh-oh. Tough decisions.
And even your experience with continuous improvement
All
initiatives.
of us striving to make things better.
Exactly. They want to see your thinking beyond the checklist.
Okay, on to question number 7. Lay it on me.
How do you ensure that the kiln is operating within the required environmental regulations?
Ah, yes, got to be sustainable.
Exactly. We can't forget about the environmental impact.
So how do you tackle this question?
First, show them, the regulations in your region.
Do you really
Then detail the steps you'd take to ensure compliance.
monitoring emissions, proper
Yeah.
waste disposal, all that good stuff?
Exactly. Show them you're going above and beyond to be environmentally responsible.
What kind of follow-up questions might come up here?
They could ask about specific permits or certifications needed.
Oh yeah, those are important.
Your experience with environmental audits.
Got to be prepared for those.
Or even your knowledge of emerging environmental technologies.
Staying ahead of the curve.
It's all about showing you're committed to sustainability.
All right, let's move on to question number 8. What's next?
This one shifts gears a bit. How do you prioritize and manage your workload to ensure all tasks are completed on time?
Time management, a crucial skill in any job.
Especially in a fast-paced environment like this?
So how do you impress them with your organizational skills?
Describe your system for prioritizing tasks.
Maybe a to-do list, a fancy app, or just a good old-fashioned planner.
Whatever works for you. And explain how you assess urgency, delegate if possible, and track your progress.
Stay on schedule, no matter what.
Exactly. What kind of follow-up questions do you think might come up here?
Maybe a hypothetical scenario with multiple deadlines.
Good one. Or how you handle unexpected problems.
Because those always happen.
And how you communicate with your team to keep everyone in the loop.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
All right, question number 9. You ready for this?
Hit me with it.
It's all about communication. What steps do you take to ensure clear communication with your team members and supervisors?
It's super important. Can't have things falling through the cracks.
Exactly. Miscommunication can lead to all sorts of problems.
So give specific examples of how you keep everyone informed and on the same page.
Regular team meetings, digital communication tools, that sort of thing.
Whatever works for the team.
Emphasize your active listening skills, clear instructions, and willingness to seek clarification.
No room for misunderstandings.
What kind of follow-up questions do you anticipate here?
Maybe about a time you had to resolve a communication breakdown.
Ooh, good one. Or how you handle conflicts within a team.
Those can get tricky.
And your preferred methods for giving and receiving feedback.
Got to keep those lines of communication open.
All right, ready for the 10th and final question?
Drum roll, please.
Okay, last question, but a good one. What motivates you to succeed in your role as a clay products dry kiln operator?
Ah, the classic motivation question. Gotta love it.
It's where you get to show your passion.
Let that personality shine through.
Exactly. Think about what really gets you excited about this work.
Is it the challenge? The satisfaction of creating something?
The teamwork aspect. Whatever it is, be genuine.
Show them what makes you tick.
What kind of follow-up questions do you think they might ask here?
Maybe about your long-term career goals.
Yeah, good one. Or how you stay up to date in your field.
Show them you're always learning.
And what you do to continually improve your skills.
That growth mindset.
Exactly.
Wow, we just covered 10 interview questions for clay products, dry kiln operators. That's a lot.
It is, but hopefully it gives listeners a good sense of what to expect.
How to prepare. Right.
Exactly. We talked about showcasing technical knowledge, problem-solving skills, safety awareness, communication, all those key things.
All those ingredients for success.
For sure.
But before we wrap up, I want to touch on something we mentioned earlier, RoleCatcher's AI.
Oh yeah, that's a game changer.
How does it actually help someone tailor their answers and get feedback for this specific job?
So RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your resume and the job description you're targeting.
It's like having a personal assistant for your job search.
Kinda. It identifies your strongest skills and experiences that match the role.
Helping you put your best foot forward.
Exactly. And it actually suggests ways to improve your answers.
Really? That's amazing.
As you practice, it gives feedback on your delivery, your tone, even suggests specific examples to include.
Wow, it's like having a coach in your pocket.
It really is. And the
It's-
best part, RoleCatcher has a free version.
It's free. Sign me up.
You can try out all these awesome features without spending a dime.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we completely go down the RoleCatcher rabbit hole,
Sure.
what if someone is interested in clay products, but this specific job isn't quite right?
Great question. The RoleCatcher Career Guide actually has a whole section on alternative job titles, and related careers.
Okay, I'm curious. Give me some examples.
Well, you've got tunnel kiln operator. They focus more on the firing process after the drying.
So, different stage of the production line.
Yep. Then there's auger press operator. They shape the clay before it even gets to the drying.
Interesting. So many options.
There are roles like a glass polisher or drawing kiln operator.
Those sound interesting. How do they connect?
It's about those transferable skills, working with heat, understanding how materials react.
So even if you don't have direct clay experience, your background in, say, glass making could be valuable.
Exactly. The guide also mentions kiln fire, clay kiln burner, glass annealer,
All about managing heat and its impact on materials.
a core skill for our clay products, dry kiln operator.
Wow, so many paths.
It's amazing how one niche skill set can open doors to so many possibilities.
It's all about connecting the dots.
And remember, RoleCatcher has detailed career guides for all these related roles.
It's like a treasure trove of career information.
You can really do your research and see what excites you the most.
I love that. But what about advancement opportunities within the clay products industry itself?
Oh, there are definitely paths to move up the ladder.
Tell me more.
With experience, a clay products dry kiln operator could move into supervisory roles, managing a team,
Perfect for those who like leadership.
or they could specialize in a particular area, becoming a real expert.
Finding that niche.
Exactly. The guide also mentions moving into research and development,
Oh, wow, that sounds interesting.
focusing on improving processes, exploring new technologies.
For innovators out there,
It really paints a picture of diverse career paths.
it's inspiring.
Yeah.
So what does all this mean for our listeners today?
Well, if you've ever thought about a hands-on career, something beyond the typical desk job,
A job where you're really creating something.
this world of clay products might be worth exploring.
And with RoleCatcher, you've got the tools to do it.
You can prepare for interviews, learn about different roles, really take control of your career journey.
It's all about taking that first step, right?
Exactly. So go check out those RoleCatcher guides, see what sparks your interest.
You might just discover your next dream job.
It's out there waiting for you.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.